Hi there, welcome to Nature's Code. Today, we will talk about the formation of icebergs. Icebergs are massive chunks of ice that have broken off from glaciers or ice shelves and float in the open water. These towering structures are primarily made of freshwater ice and can vary greatly in size, from small, house-sized pieces to enormous ones that can be as large as a small island. Although they float on water, only about 10% of an iceberg is visible above the surface. The rest remains submerged, making them quite hazardous for ships. The journey of an iceberg begins with the accumulation of snow in polar regions. This snow compacts over thousands of years, gradually turning into ice and forming glaciers or ice sheets. Here's a step-by-step breakdown of the process. Number 1. Snow accumulation. In polar regions like Antarctica and Greenland, snowfall is heavy. Over time, this snow doesn't melt, but accumulates layer upon layer. The weight of the accumulating snow compresses the layers beneath, transforming them into dense ice. Number 2. Glacier formation. As more snow accumulates, it compacts and forms glaciers' massive, slow-moving rivers of ice. These glaciers grow over thousands of years, often extending towards the coastlines. Number 3. Glacier movement. Gravity causes glaciers to slowly flow towards lower elevations, and eventually to the ocean. This movement is very slow, often just a few meters per year, but over centuries, it can cover vast distances. Number 4. Calving process. When a glacier reaches the sea, the edge of the ice interacts with the ocean water, which is slightly warmer than the ice. This interaction causes the glacier's edge to crack and break off, a process known as calving. The pieces that break off are icebergs. Number 5. Drifting icebergs. Once an iceberg has calved, it drifts into the open ocean. Its path is influenced by ocean currents, winds, and tides. Depending on its size, an iceberg can drift for several years before melting completely. Icebergs from Antarctica tend to drift northward, while those from Greenland head south into the North Atlantic. Composition and structure. Freshwater ice. Icebergs are composed almost entirely of fresh water. The ice is typically very pure, as it originates from compacted snow rather than frozen seawater. Layers. An iceberg often has visible layers, corresponding to years of snowfall. These layers can sometimes be seen in the iceberg's structure. Coloration. While icebergs appear white, they can also exhibit a range of blue hues. The color depends on the density of the ice and the presence of air bubbles. Blue ice, for example, is denser and has fewer air bubbles, absorbing more light. Dangers and importance. Navigational hazards. Since the majority of an iceberg is submerged, they pose significant risks to ships. The most famous example of this danger is the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. Climate indicators. Icebergs are important indicators of climate change. The rate at which glaciers calve and the number of icebergs produced can provide valuable data on global warming and the health of polar regions. Understanding the formation and life cycle of icebergs is crucial for grasping the broader dynamics of our planet's climate system. This process, rooted in the ancient accumulation of snow, illustrates the complex interplay between the Earth's atmosphere, ice, and oceans.